Welcome back into the Beauty Lab, aka my bathroom, where I do the experimentation with beauty products, find those that deliver great results, and share them with you. I'll also show you how to use them. So today we're going to do another quick makeup look, but I'm going to incorporate bronzer and contour so that you can see the difference between the two of them and how you can actually use them for a quick makeup look. So starting off, I have a little bit of redness in my skin. I also have a dark patch. I'm really not looking to give a lot of coverage to my skin. All I want to do is even out the skin tone so I have more of an even colored canvas. That way any bronzer, contour, blush, eyeshadows, lip gloss, anything, that sort of idea, anything that with color that you're adding on really does its job. So you know when you buy that really pretty color of blush and you put it on and you're like, oh, it's not working? Maybe your skin tone just needs to be evened out a little bit. So it's not about a lot of coverage. I'm not even going to hide this dark patch very much. So I'm going to go in with my Flesh Thick Stick. This is their stick foundation. You can get medium, possibly even full coverage. You don't need to have full coverage. So here's how you use it. You can take it. It's a nice creamy stick. Any skin type can use this, and they have over 40 shades to use. So there is something for everybody. I'm shade Coconut for the summer and Apple Strudel for the rest of the year. So you can take it. It's a stick. A lot of people will draw it on and then blend it out. It can be a lot of extra work. So instead, take a brush. This is a stipple brush from Real Techniques. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe on top. This again allows you, my biggest thing in makeup is start with less. You can always add more. So go over top the stick and we're going to blend it in. I just want to get rid of some of the redness and just even it out. So any product that I put on top is going to pop and do its work because I've removed any color competition from my skin. So that could include, you know, dark circles, redness in the cheeks, brown patches, but I'm not really going to cover that up too much. I'm not going to bother with it today. I just want a look that kind of gets me out the door. So we're going to even out the skin tone just a little bit, move it around. Now, if you draw this on your skin, you're getting a lot of product and you have to spend more time blending it out. So why not just swipe it, get a little bit. You'll be pleasantly surprised how much you actually don't need to get the job done. A little misconception that more is better, but when it's a medium to full coverage formula that's buildable, the whole idea is you can add a little bit at a time to get the coverage that you want. And I'm only going in the areas that I want, and I keep tapping just a little bit, so I only pick up a little bit of product. Okay, so now we have that evened out. Whatever's left on my brush, I'll kind of do along here. This is also the time that if you look and you need a little bit more coverage, you can go back in, and that's where you get that buildable up to full coverage if you so choose. However, you can also go in and touch in with concealer where you need to, but I'm using it as my concealer under the eyes as well. And there we go. So a little bit evened out, and I've kept somewhat of the glow that I like to have in my skin. Now, about contouring. Contouring is about pushing things into the background. It's a shadow. I'm going to use, this is the Kiko Sculpting Touch Creamy Stick Contour. I prefer to have creamy products. I think you can move them around a little bit better. Plus, I've also used a creamy texture of foundation. So they kind of work together where one blends into the other a little bit better. You'll find if you use powder on top of cream, sometimes it can be almost, the brush gets a little bit stuck and you have to work a little bit harder. So let's make it quick and easy. So I'm going to grab this stick. This is in shade 201, and this is Kiko Milano. You can actually find it through the US. Sorry, Canada, again, it's not something that we get, but I'm absolutely obsessed with this European formula. And then we're going to go in. So what I'm doing is the top of my ear here, going down towards the outer corner of my mouth, but I'm stopping here. So point 1, point 2, this direction, but stop here. Get that on. So this should be under the cheek. Then you're going to take another brush. You can actually take your foundation brush because that foundation will help dilute it a little bit. Just remember to wash it out when you go back to it. Or you can use even a flat foundation brush. Flat foundation brush also means that you're adding more product. So what we want to do is just, I'm going to cheat, use minimal brushes. And we're going to work this up. You do not want to bring contour down, so we're going to work it up. It's not your blush. We're just fading out that line so it doesn't look so harshly drawn in like this. And blend it out. And remember, you need to move your face towards the light. Don't look at it straight on and blend it. It may not be evened out. Like this. And again, upwards motion, fade it out. You can always add a little bit more, but really, it's just to add a little bit of shaping. So you can see there's a little bit of a shadow here, a little bit of a shadow here. So that means that kind of goes in just a little bit. But you have to be careful. You don't want it to look too skeletal in some cases if it's too much. And you don't want it too dirty. And the idea of contour is It's a little bit of more browny, almost that, you know, that underside of a mushroom, you know, the little things under a mushroom. I don't like mushrooms, but I like that color. So that's your contour. Then for bronzer, I'm going to grab a blush, 2 brushes. I'm going to grab one for blush, one for bronzer, so I don't mix the shades. I want to layer them. So again, just a nice blush brush. This will do. A little bit fluffy, but it fits like this. So I'm going to dip into the bronzer. This is Kiko. This is their blush and bronzer palette, and I believe they have 3 shades. This is shade number 3. And then we're going to apply the bronzer like this. So it's going to meet the contour. It's layering over, but we're not bringing the bronzer all the way here. You want to kind of leave that there, but you want to blend the bronzer into the contour that you brought up. Hope that's making sense. Add a little bit. So this is the warmth to your skin. So contour should be a little bit more of a cooler, neutral tone, if that makes sense. It's not, that's why bronzers don't work as well for contour. They look a little bit weird down there. So just a little bit, and I just tap. Like I don't even rub my brush in. I just tap. Whatever color comes up, remember you can always continue to add in. Just go on the cheek. Now for those of you who just like the bronzer look, you can leave it at that. I like to add a little pop of color, so we're going to take another brush, similar size. It actually fits here. And we're going to tap in to the blush a little bit at a time. And we're going to go a little bit at the front and the apple here, just a little bit. That's why I tap. Don't run your brush through it. A little bit of color. And then whatever's left on the brush, you can bring it back or flip the brush over to the clean side and do this. This only works a couple of times before you have to clean the brush out and start fresh so that you don't keep adding too much color. So there's your pop of color. Do that over this way. Give it a little smile. Now remember, go about a thumb width from the edge of your nose to where the color should stop. So it's roughly around here. So you want to leave a little bit of more of the flesh tone in there. So about a thumb width, just a guideline. Blend it in. Touch your fingers. I like my fingers because I can just soften the edge if you want, or you can go back and use a foundation brush and finish that edge, or a little sponge and finish. Just soften the edge, just so you don't see where it stops and starts. So here we go, we have that little pop of color. Want a little bit more, step back from the mirror and take an overall look. This way, oh, do I want a little bit more? Sure, add a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Now, if you're gonna use contour, I suggest using a highlighter because they both kind of work together. Not kind of, they do. This is the Marni Cipriani Beauty. It is a highlighting cream, so it's called Fresh Face. It's a highlighting cream, and I love it because it is a clean beauty brand, and it's not that frosty on the skin. And when you're doing your highlighter, you want to kind of go in this section here, like right under the eye. Not too far back, not too far forward, and definitely not under the eye too much. So it's going to overlap. So I'm going to pat it on so you can see where I put it. So it overlaps the blush, but not too far under the eye. And then again, this is cream. It'll be fine on the edge of that powder. They'll work together. And then you have that glow. Again on this side. Now remember, I talk during this. Once you get the hang of it, you'll be a pro. And you get it on and out the door. I just explain it, so that's why, you know, a 5-minute makeup look takes a little bit longer on video. So there you have it. That's how we've incorporated the blush and the bronzer. Now, if you want to, you can take the contour, take that foundation brush. Remember to clean it afterwards before you use it for foundation again. We're gonna run the brush across the top, so you're picking up minimal product, and then we're just gonna go a little bit on the jawline. So not up here, not underneath because no one sees it, but right on the edge. There we go. I think it's great to bring dimension to the face. I don't like the idea of over contouring to change the shape of your face. You know, when you wash it all off, it's still gonna be the same face that you were started with. So you know what? Just work with what you have, but highlight lifts up and pushes out. So you don't wanna highlight anything that you don't want popping off your face. And be careful with the contour because it is meant to recede, but we also don't want that skeletal sunken in look on a lot. I'm not into the full contour idea. Just get it on for a little bit of shaping. It feels good, a little zhuzhing up. And that's pretty much it. So that's your